In the relentless dance of survival that transcends species, every inhabitant of the wild, from the laid-back sloth to the cunning tiger, engages in an unyielding battle for resources. Yet, within this intricate tapestry of nature's struggle, some creatures excel while others falter. Join us as we look into the tales of 10 extinct species, each unable to navigate the challenges of today's world, a mosaic of survival where only the fittest endure. Number 10. Steller's sea cow. These majestic marine mammals once ruled the Bering Sea and North Pacific Ocean. They were documented by the intrepid naturalist Georg Wilhelm Steller during the Great Northern Expedition in 1741. Imagine these colossal creatures stretching up to an impressive 30 feet in length and weighing a staggering 10 tons. Back in their heyday, they were the undisputed rulers of their oceanic realm. However, the modern world poses a daunting challenge for these gentle giants. In an era dominated by swift and dynamic threats, such as high-speed vessels, the sea cow's once unhurried movements now become a poignant vulnerability, rendering them unable to escape the perils of today's fast-paced times. Number 9. Beige white dolphin. Let's talk about the beige white dolphin, also known as the Yangtze River dolphin or the Chinese river dolphin. This freshwater dolphin species was once native to the Yangtze River in China. Unfortunately, the beige is now considered functionally extinct, meaning there are no known individuals left in the wild. So, why couldn't they survive today? Overfishing in the Yangtze River has taken a toll on the beige's survival. The depletion of fish populations, especially their main prey like carp and catfish, has reduced the dolphins' access to food. With a shrinking food source, the beige faces increased competition for limited resources, making it challenging for them to find enough nourishment to sustain their population. Number 8. Giant sloth. Meet the giant sloth, also known as the ground sloth, a group of large, herbivorous mammals that once roamed during the Ice Age. These sloths were seriously massive, with some species stretching up to 20 feet in length and weighing several tons. Pretty mind-blowing, huh? But here's the kicker. While they were well suited for the environment of their time, thriving in extensive grasslands and forests, the world today might be a bit too much for them. Back in the Ice Age, when the climate was colder, the giant sloths were in their element. But as the Earth's climate shifted and warmed, their habitats underwent drastic changes. The expansion of forests and the decline of grasslands mean there's less suitable space for our giant sloth pals. And since they were specialized in grazing on grasses and other low-lying vegetation, the loss of these ecosystems would seriously crimp their style, limiting their food sources and habitats. Tough break for these colossal ancient grazers. Number 7. White-footed rabbit rat. Ever come across the white-footed rabbit rat? It's an extinct critter with quite the quirky name. This odd little creature was related to rats, mice, and squirrels. Picture a tiny guy resembling a squirrel but with a twist, a bushy tail featuring 2 different colors. Its body rocked a dark brown coat, while its belly and feet went all out in white. Now here's the bummer. Why couldn't these adorable critters make it in today's world? The introduction of predators played a significant role in their downfall. As humans brought in non-native predators like cats and foxes, the white-footed rabbit rats had to face new threats they weren't equipped to handle. These predators eyed these cute little critters as potential snacks, and unfortunately, the rabbit rats couldn't defend themselves effectively. That was true back then, and sadly, it holds true now. They simply don't have a place in nature anymore. Tough break for these once charming, quirky rodents. Number 6. The Pinta giant tortoise. Ever heard of the Pinta giant tortoise, also known as the Pinta Island tortoise? It was a subspecies of the Galapagos tortoise, originally from Pinta Island in the Galapagos archipelago. What made it unique? Well, it had a dome-shaped shell and an impressive ability to store water, perfect for surviving in arid environments. Sadly, the Pinta tortoise had a small population, with only a handful known to have existed in the wild. This low population size made them highly vulnerable to genetic issues like inbreeding depression. With limited genetic diversity, their capacity to adapt to new environments and resist diseases took a serious hit. A tough situation for these remarkable tortoises from Pinta Island. Josephardigasia monesi. Ever heard of Josephardigasia monesi? Say that 10 times really fast. These giant rodents were no ordinary creatures. To give you an idea, think of a rat the size of a horse. Their front teeth measured a whopping 10 inches, and experts believe they use them to dig for roots, much like elephants use their tusks. They might have even defended themselves against saber-toothed tigers and terror birds with those massive teeth. Now, why couldn't these giants make it in today's world? They had specific dietary needs and relied on large grasslands for foraging. But as habitats changed due to human activities altering the landscape, these giant rodents would find it hard to adapt to new food sources and environments. Number 4. Western black rhino. Meet the western black rhino, or Diceros bicornis longipes, a subspecies of the black rhinoceros that once called the western regions of Africa home, spanning countries like Cameroon, Nigeria, and Chad. It used to be one of the recognized subspecies of black rhinos. Now, why couldn't these majestic creatures survive today? Illegal poaching played a devastating role in the extinction of the western black rhino. Their horns, highly sought after in traditional medicine and as status symbols, fetched staggering prices on the black market. Despite efforts to conserve them, unrelenting poaching for their horns wiped out the population, leading to their eventual extinction. And sadly, this grim fate would still be true today. The relentless pursuit of their horns by poachers would persist, making the survival of their population an elusive dream. A tragic tale for these magnificent creatures of the wild. Number 3. Civithere. Ever heard of the civithere, also known as Civitherium? These were large herbivorous mammals that once roamed during the late Miocene to the Pleistocene epochs, native to parts of Africa, Asia, and Europe. The cool part? They looked like a blend of giraffes and deer, sporting a long neck and tall, branching antlers. Sadly, the civithere is now extinct, and the chances of them surviving in today's world are slim. Being herbivores, the civithere depended on vegetation for their sustenance. But changes in ecosystems, including the introduction of new herbivorous species, could increase competition for limited food resources. If the civithere faced tough competition from other large herbivores, or if their preferred food sources became scarce, their survival would take a hit. Plus, as large herbivores, they might become targets for humans seeking meat, hides, or other resources. Number 2. Cuban giant owl. Let's talk about the Cuban giant owl, a captivating species exclusive to Cuba. What makes it stand out? Well, unlike most owls, this one spent a significant chunk of its life on the ground due to its substantial size. But don't be fooled, it still retained the ability to fly in short bursts, kind of like a turkey. Equipped with acute hearing and sharp eyesight, just like its owl cousins, it excelled at hunting prey in low-light conditions. Some theories even suggest that the Cuban giant owl was an adept runner, capable of chasing down its prey before capturing it. But alas, the Cuban giant owl couldn't stand up to the pressures of the modern world. Being a large terrestrial bird made it an easy target for hunters. On top of that, the introduction of non-native animals like rats by humans posed a significant threat to their nests and offspring. Number 1. Haast's eagle. Let's talk about the Haast's eagle, named after the 19th century geologist and explorer Sir Julius von Haast. This massive bird of prey was once the king of the skies in New Zealand, holding the title of the largest eagle that ever existed. But here's the thing, it wouldn't survive in today's world. Why? Well, the Haast's eagle had a slow reproductive rate. It took a while for them to reach sexual maturity, and they didn't produce many offspring. In our fast-paced world, where environmental changes happen quickly and species face numerous threats, a slow reproductive rate becomes a significant obstacle. It would hinder the eagle's ability to bounce back and maintain a stable population in the face of the challenges thrown its way. Tough break for this majestic bird from New Zealand. And that was our list. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below.